Well, hey everybody, super excited to be kicking off a new series with Craig Janke again, AI for Average Intelligence. Craig, tell us what this is about.
So this came out of the idea that I've been talking to a lot of people about artificial intelligence, and like you hear in the media that it's going to take over the world, right? That it's going to be the Terminator. They're coming for our jobs and everything. But when I talk to people, it's like, hey, where do we get started with this? How do I use it? Like as a knowledge worker, how do I use it to improve my everyday life? Or if I'm a frontline worker, how can I use AI to help me there? So I pitched the idea to you, Jay, how do we do this? And get back to, putting out stuff, content out there, kind of like This Week in Teams that's helpful for the average everyday user. And you said, oh, I like the idea of artificial intelligence for average intelligence. I said it right too. So
for those
this
wondering,
is where we're going
this
to
is
try
like
to,
our
to
fifth
run
take.
with this concept. So how can we take AI, out of this stratospheric type of location? We're going to use it to solve the world to, I just want to make my life a little bit better, my job a little easier.
Yes. So on this fifth take, I think that's a great kind of summary of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the conversations we have in the Innovation Hub and with our customers. We're trying to bring those back down to the basics. What can I, as an individual, get out of utilizing AI every day? What kind of value am I going to get? And as an organization, sure, we can solve massive challenges with AI, from machine learning to expert systems to generative AI, and integrating all of that together with our big solutions there. We can solve massive challenges, but before we get there, we need to figure out how to use it as an individual, right? Like, what kind of conversations can I have with AI to brainstorm on problems I'm having? Or Craig, you brought up in one of our previous takes, right? You brought up agendas, right? What are you doing there?
Yeah. So how can I use it to create an agenda for an upcoming meeting I've got going on, right? And then how do I take that to the next level? So a lot of people can do one-off things and then they get stuck.
Yep.
Can I use that agenda to then maybe create more detailed agenda or a PowerPoint presentation that I can present during the meeting? And then can I record the meeting, use the transcript, and get action items out there and recap so I can pay attention to the meeting without taking notes? And then maybe getting it to do follow-up emails. But to be honest, where I've seen a lot of people, you use this as an example of how do I get started? Like when I bring it up and people have been using it, a lot of people use it to plan vacations. I don't know what that says, but there's a lot of cool things you can do.
So I used generative AI to refamiliarize myself with one of my favorite band's catalogs. So Nine Inch Nails is on tour right now. They came to the US. My wife and I were going to the concert, and I'm like, man, I listened to them a lot when I was a kid. I listened to them sporadically, but like, what have they been doing? What has Trent Reznor been doing the last 20 years? And so I had a conversation with AI where I asked it to help me create a playlist to refresh my memory, and not only the playlist, but why the songs selected were important. And through a conversation, it gave me this playlist of 30 or 40 songs that I was able to then just listen to and I don't want to say study per se, but like to get back up to speed. And so that kind of use, although it doesn't seem business worthy, you can imagine I've done that same thing in studying for an exam, where I'm like, here's a study guide. I want you to ask me questions from the study guide. And in areas where I'm failing, where I'm answering incorrectly, I want you to dig deeper and pull questions out of that topic to help me think more about it. And so that's the kind of thing that I think that people don't really think about. And I think that's huge. It's one of those things where when I do promptathons, I like to remind people that yes, you can use AI to save 200 hours on a single problem. And the amount of effort you're going to put in to save those 200 hours is pretty considerable, because you're going to have to think through the challenge. Or you can use AI to save 20 minutes, but that 20 minutes is the kind of savings you're going to make, 100 times. And now you're seeing comparable savings from the big problem to the little problem, because it's something that happens over and over and over again. So we want to use
automated repetition.
Yeah, right. So we want to use this conversation, AI for Average Intelligence, to help talk about what can the average knowledge worker do to save time over and over and over again, to get value out of generative AI. And I think we can do that, Greg.
Yeah, I think that we can, or I hope that we can. And then you said we would bring, as one of our previous takes, we forget where we're going. We talked about actually bringing on people who work in the space and also kind of do what we do, talk to customers in and day out. Maybe not from Microsoft, maybe from somewhere else.
Right.
We want to be. We need to learn, and the really hard thing about what we do and with AI is that it's progressing at such a rapid pace right now, right? I feel like if I've had this conversation, if you're not thinking about AI and how that's going to change your career, your life, and your company, you're already behind the curve, right? So it's a constant. Everybody from Grok, from Google, from AWS. I even saw, who is it? Big data company. Somebody's putting out
Palantir.
There's a lot of companies pushing out AI. So what does that mean to you, and what does that mean for your organization, and where can you take advantage to make your life better, right? So
yep. So we're going to use this show to bring in guests to talk about generative AI and AI solutions in general from across the industry. And we'll try and keep it consumable. Hour-long conversations are fun. We'll try to break that down a little bit so that you can listen to us, listen to the show, get a lot out of it, and come back for more. Craig, I'm looking forward to kicking this off with you again. People listening, yep. I'm looking forward to you joining the conversation. You'll be able to find us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on our website, on thespot.tech. And yeah, I think that's it, Greg.
Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see how it goes.